Hello everyone, I'm Salad, and welcome back to Danganronpa 2. We are what I believe is the final investigation of the game, which is going to lead up to the final trial. At least I think so. Based on the music, that would seem to be the case. And I, right now, have some theories about what might have happened, but it's only pretty vague, so we're just going to have to continue on here and investigate a little bit to hopefully give us a little bit more clarity. Right now, Chiaki is my main suspect for who would have killed him, but it's also possible that Nagito killed himself. But it's also, I mean, it's not possible, right? Judging by what it looks like, it's completely impossible that he killed himself, right? Because his legs are all cut up, it looks like his arms are all cut up. He's all cut up all over the place. Why would you do that kind of thing to yourself? And also, he got impaled. How would you set... And also, he was all tied up. What, did he tie himself up and then get something to impale himself? But that's exactly it. What if Nagito is exactly the kind of crazy who would find some way to set up that elaborate thing to make it look like somebody killed him so that we would suspect each other. Like... He's the exact kind of nonsensical weirdo who would do something stupid like that for who knows what reason, right? Like, there's no way to know what his reason could be because he's insane. And by saying that out loud, something just came to my attention that's on screen right now. Do you notice it? For some reason, I don't have a cursor. But if you look directly above where this spear is on his dead body, now look up to the metal like support beams that you see above everything. You see a little bit of blood there. There's a little bit of blood above the support beams. Why? Why is there blood there? That's suspicious. Was there some sort of setup there where it was supposed to fall down and stab him? Although I don't see any evidence of that right now. Maybe it burned away. Yeah, so that's the suspicion that I have, that maybe he found some way, because of the fact that it makes no sense. I feel like it maybe makes some sense that he possibly killed himself. So it's either he killed himself or Chiaki killed him. Those are my theories right now. Yeah, we'll take a look at the Monokuma file and we'll see where this goes. Now, I'll have to take a break in like a little bit because I have some potatoes that are cooking in the oven. But I didn't want to wait for that. I wanted to get into this because I'm curious about what actually happened in this trial and I need to know. So this is what we're doing. The victim is Nagito Komeida. Okay, let me look at these stats since they're bringing them up here. Maybe they'll be important somehow. 5'9", oh, because I was suspecting that maybe Makoto was his twin or something, you know? Who knows what? Everybody's a twin nowadays. 5'9", 143. 33 inches, blood type O, April 28th is his birthday, okay? I'm not going to be able to remember most of that. So 5'9", blood type O is what I'll remember. The body was discovered inside the warehouse near the Monokuma plushie factory. The estimated time of death is believed to be noon sharp. Okay, the time of death was noon. Oh, I totally have forgotten, like, all what happened earlier. What time is it right now? It's it says believed to be. It doesn't, this is kind of a weird thing for the Monokuma file to say. Why would it say believed to be? Is it because we believe it to be noon sharp? Or is it because Monokuma believes it to have been noon sharp? Like, that's a really weird way to say it. I don't know if we actually know what time it is exactly. Because there's some weird stuff going on with the, that I said last time about how the car ran out of gas early. And how that might imply that some of the gas was used to start this fire. Let me see here. Timer reaches 0. Nobody knows what's going to happen to us. Blah, blah, blah. I don't think... I'm sure they'll explain it again later. It's going to come up, right? If it's an important point, it'll come up again. But there are no marks on his right hand. Why are there no marks on his right arm? Is it because he was making the marks with his left? And he needed that arm to still be usable for setting something specific up? And also that arm was free Is it because, again, he needed to be able to set something specific up? Like maybe that rope that was on his arm was tied to the ceiling and he needed to be able to cut it so that it would fall down? That would make some amount of sense, maybe, possibly. I don't know. Not only is there a spear stabbed in his stomach, there are multiple stab wounds on each of his thighs. Furthermore, there's a laceration on his left arm and a knife impaled through his right hand. Okay, that's confusing. How could he have had the knife go through his hand if he did this himself? That's a good point. And also the fact, I think I mentioned this last time, the fact that some of his jacket is missing because it's been cut into little squares or whatever. I feel like that might be relevant. That might have been used to set up some part of this. And like, what is that next to him? Is that a hose? No, or was that part of the stabbing device? I think that might have been part of the stabbing device. What a tragic situation. Just reading this is making me depressed.
Huh?
Is there something wrong with this Monokuma file? Again? But what's wrong with it? Wait, did she say something different? I think I misread that. Okay, she was just speaking aloud to herself. I think. And that's why we asked her what was going on. Not only is there a spear stabbed in his stomach, there are multiple stab wounds on each of his thighs. Furthermore, there's a laceration on his left arm and a knife impaled through his right hand. Like they were going out of their way to make it obvious that he couldn't have done it to himself. To make it obvious that it was a murder.
Yep.
It's definitely weird. Well, I guess I'll find out if I look around. That's what the investigation is for. Don't worry or form conclusions on your own. That makes me more worried than I should be. No, she can make conclusions on her own. It's better if people come to their own conclusions, then we can compare them afterwards. We can discuss it later. Right now is our only chance to investigate. So we should investigate first.
See?
If we don't, there won't be anything for us to discuss. Well, I guess you're right. Then let's start with the area surrounding Nagito's body. I should start with the back of the warehouse. Since the curtain blocked most of the water, this area wasn't affected by the sprinklers that much. Thanks to that, I can probably investigate Nagito's body. I never thought I'd have to investigate Nagito's body. He probably didn't expect to end up like this either, or maybe he did. Maybe he did. We don't know yet. Monokuma file number 5 has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook. Okay. Let's take a look around. Interesting. Interesting. Do you know what I find interesting? This spot right here that I was pointing out earlier, I'm not able to investigate it. Why? Why am I not able to investigate that? That's extremely suspicious. That's extremely suspicious. The game says, nah, it's not important. Don't worry about it. I'm worried about it. I'm worried about it. I'm assuming somebody else is going to mention it then. Okay, so the fire grenades that we threw. Wait, is this a lighter? Ah, this is... It's an oil lighter. This is where the curtains would have been hanging. It also looks like the fire did extensive damage here. If the oil lighter was placed here...
Just kidding.
Ah, an oil lighter. Someone probably wanted to keep warm. That doesn't seem like it was what it was used for.
Bring it on.
It is almost a foolish thought. This is clearly the cause of the fire.
Well?
Yeah. Oil lighters can continue to burn even after someone lets go of them. Is that so? It sounds pretty dangerous. So using that, the curtain was set on fire. Yeah, most lighters you like do this and they'll turn on, but then when you let go of them, it'll stop burning. Using the oil lighter, huh? Do you think the killer set up some sort of trick with it? What do you mean?
You are right.
The killer probably planned to destroy evidence by setting this warehouse on fire. They caused a fire to destroy evidence? Yeah, I mean, that was the most obvious thing. But then again, the body is fine. Why? That's the only reason I can think of why a killer would set fire to their crime scene, but... But if they wanted to destroy all the evidence, wouldn't they have burned the body? But they didn't. They wanted us to see the situation of the body to make it obvious that it wasn't a suicide, I guess? That it was a murder? Maybe? Oil lighters have been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Okay, so the fire was intentionally set to not burn the body. So that's the thing. That's suspicious. So let's take a look at the fire grenades that were apparently useless for some reason. Looks like a bunch of plastic bottles. Remnants of plastic are scattered all over the place. This is probably another thing to note. I remember somebody led us to where the fire stuff was. I forget who. But they remarked that some of the fire stuff was missing. And only the fire grenades were left. Why? Why was some of the fire suppression stuff missing? We don't really know yet. This is probably... those fire grenades that were used to put out the fire. Well, they weren't actually that useful in the end. Why though? Why weren't they useful? Were they specifically empty for some reason? And another thing, they were really high up on the shelf. Is the murderer or this person who set this up, are they somebody who is short, who didn't even notice that stuff was up there? Is that it? Like, were they too short to even notice that there were fire grenades on the top shelf? Or above the top shelf? So they didn't know to get rid of it beforehand? The fire was only extinguished thanks to the sprinklers. Well, nevertheless, this evidence really isn't all that strange. What do you mean it's really not all that strange? It's strange that they didn't put out the fire. I mean, I know that there are specific fire extinguishing devices that are meant for different types of fires. So some are not effective at all on specific types of fires. Like you have ones that are designed for chemical fires, some that are designed for grease fires, some that are designed for other things, right? Electrical fires. You have different ones that are designed for different types of fires. So was this type of fire not designed for the type of fire that these fire grenades were designed for? That would be a bit of a thing for a game like this to actually acknowledge, but maybe that is a thing that it's acknowledging here in this trial. But so far they haven't specified anything like that. Monokuma plushie. Monokuma's dead! There's blood coming out of his stomach. Okay, come on. We already know he's not actually dead. But what happened here? Why is there a stab wound in his stomach? Is that where the spear initially was stabbed or something? Hey! No response. He's dead, Jim. Okay. Star Trek reference. Original series. Original series of Star Trek is great. It really is. It's so over the top. It's wonderful. Just kidding. I'm not dead. Is this one of those life-size plushies that were being produced at this factory? If so, then why does it have blood? If you're mistaking a plushie for me, there's something wrong with you. Come on, everybody has always thought you're a plushie, Monokuma. You're a stuffed animal too. Don't put oversized garbage there. It's so misleading. What? What do you mean by that? You calling? Yeah, are you calling him oversized garbage? What are you calling oversized garbage? Could this be one of Monokuma's tricks? Then why did he do it? Making a hole like it got stabbed and going to the trouble of dirtying the hole with blood. Yeah, that's the weird thing. Why is it dirtied with blood? And did it get stabbed? Wait. Maybe this isn't a plushie. Maybe this is a garbage. Maybe this is a Monokuma. Maybe Monokuma attacked Nagito. And Nagito stabbed Monokuma. And Monokuma's original plushie died. And then started an electrical fire? Maybe? But then who set up Nagito to look like he was murdered? I don't know. I mean, did Monokuma set him up to look like he was murdered? But if Monokuma set it up, it would look like it was a suicide. I don't know. Maybe.
What are you saying?
I'm just wondering if this is truly like Nagito said, going to be a repeat of the previous game, where the last murder wasn't actually a murder, or it was a murder that previously took place, and then it was the body was dressed up. It was Mukuro's body dressed up to look Mukuro's body dressed up to look like it was Mukuro's body when it was actually Junko and Oshima who did it as Monokuma. You know what I'm trying to say, right? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe there's something like that going on where Monokuma actually did the killing this time. I had nothing to do with that. Huh?
You're so evil.
He's probably lying. Seriously, you're always lying. You should just die like that plushie over there.
What's this?
You seem more pissed off than usual these days, Monami. But you better watch what you say. If I feel like it, I can wipe you out easily, you know. Okay, so Monokuma really wants to shut her up. Is it because she's getting at the truth? I won't give in to your threats. I'll fight you till the very end.
I can't lose.
I'll definitely take back the seat of world supremacy from Monokuma. Seat of world supremacy? It's probably not the kind of thing you should be saying. That's just gonna make you sound more suspicious. ... Looks like those annoyances are gone. If it wasn't Monokuma's trick, then who did this? So Monokuma is saying that it wasn't his trick. But then Monomugi said that he's probably lying. So we don't, in other words, we don't really know if it's a trick or not. But they're planting the idea in our minds that maybe it's a trick of some sort. Could the killer have done this? If so, is this Nagito's blood? Oh! Or maybe... No, the spear wouldn't fit in Monokuma. But I was going to say, like, what if the spear shot out of Monokuma and killed him? And that blood was indeed Nagito's blood. But if that was Nagito's blood, it would have been... See, that's the thing. If this was Nagito's blood, the blood would have been more evenly spread around Monokuma. It wouldn't just be around the hole where he got stabbed. So one thing that might be the case is, like, maybe Nagito got stabbed, and then he took it out of himself, or maybe somebody got stabbed. Somebody got stabbed, and then that Monokuma must have gotten stabbed afterwards. That's the only thing that makes any kind of sense. And then the spear was, like, replaced into, or, like, re-stabbed into Nagito afterwards to make it look like he was stabbed beforehand, but he was actually stabbed after he was already dead, or maybe. I have no idea how this connects to the incident. Yeah, confusing as always. Monokuma plushie has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook. Alright. Well, we got a lot of people to talk to here, but let's take a look at the body first. Never expected Nagito to die like this. He's always spouting nonsense about hope and trying to confuse the hell out of us. But even so, dying like this is just too cruel. Also, he wasn't completely useless. There were times we were only able to reach the truth because of him. Yeah, that's true. He's been acting always, like, really strange to try to figure out. It's always been really strange to try to figure out whose side he actually is on. Because sometimes he legitimately helps us. But everything good and bad about him is gone. We'll never be confused by him again. We'll never be saved by him again. No. Now isn't the time to think about unnecessary things. I need to focus on the investigation right now. For now, I need to investigate everything about this body that catches my eye. Actually, first of all, can I... Okay, I still need to do this. I think I actually made a mistake going and investigating this body first. I actually probably should have investigated everybody else first in case they disappear after I'm done talking to the body. Or investigating the body. You know what I'm saying. Alright, so this is the suspicious thing. Why is this... Okay, burnt rope. Nagito's right wrist is tied with rope. Why is that part burnt and not everything else? That would be because it's on the side that goes towards the fire, right? So that would mean it's not tied upwards. It is tied towards where the door is, where the fire happened. And that's why it got detached. But it looks like the tip of that rope is burned off. Could this be a result of the fire? Maybe. But that's weird. If the rope is burned off like this, Why are Nagito's clothes completely unaffected by the fire when he was so close to the blaze? Well, I mean, maybe he just didn't get there yet and because the sprinkler turned on in time, right? That's what I would have expected. But they're implying like something else happened. Like maybe it was burned beforehand for some reason? Or maybe the killer never intended to start a fire in the first place. I don't know. Alright, the knife. What's up with the knife? The knife is stabbed through Nagito's right hand. Did the killer do this? How could they do something so cruel? This knife, it must be from the military base. Military base? Ah, now that you mention it, you're right. Looks like a survival knife.
Well?
By the way, it seems the wounds on his legs and left arm were caused by that same knife. Okay. Which means after the killer was finished stabbing Nagito's legs and left arm, they stabbed the knife through his right hand? Or he somehow stabbed it through his own hand?
It cannot be.
And then they finished him off with a spear.
How cruel.
How cruel. Then, does that mean the killer went to the trouble of using two weapons, a knife and a spear? But they could have just killed him by stabbing him with a knife. Yeah, they could have. Why did they need to use a spear at all? It was all just part of the setup. I like, there's something important about the way his body is set up that the killer had to have, the killer had to do in order to demonstrate something. Or to pretend like something was true. And I'm assuming it's... The only thing I can think of is still that maybe he killed himself. And he stabbed like all parts of his body first. And then he used his left hand that was already cut up, but maybe he still had enough strength in it to stab his right hand. No, that can't be possible because he was tied up. Like, how does this work? How does this work? I don't get it. Maybe he got Monokuma's help? Monokuma assisted suicide? Like, does that make any sense?
You are right.
That is definitely strange. Was there a reason they had to use it? Yeah, to demonstrate something specific. Reason they had to use a spear, huh? Survival knife has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. One thing that's weird about that knife in his hand, like, did they stab it through the concrete? Because that wouldn't make a lot of sense. But it looks like, from what I can see, that not enough of that, like, did they stab it through the hand and the concrete, or is it like a really short knife? Because that would be a really short knife if it's just going through his hand there and then nothing else. Alright, yeah, let's take a look at this, because this is another thing that I thought were weird. No, not feet. Not feet, his cape. Or his, like, clothing that's all cut up. Both of Nagito's legs are tied up. Each rope is tied to the pillars nearby. He wouldn't have been able to move at all. According to the Monokuma file, the wounds on his legs are all stab wounds. Does that mean the killer didn't just tie up Nagito? They also stabbed his legs? Why would the killer do something like that?
Damn it.
At any rate, it's pretty sadistic. The killer must have been holding a huge grudge towards him. Or he might have been torturing him. Well, there is one person who carries a big grudge against Nagito, and that's Nagito. He's always talked about how worthless he is. The torture?
Huh?
I mean, if they just wanted to kill him, they could have just stabbed him once in the chest, right? You disregard the spear in his chest. The other wounds were inflicted for reasons other than killing. It means the wounds all over Nagito's body were from the killer torturing him? If that's the case, what was the killer trying to make Nagito confess? And also, if they were trying to make Nagito confess something, why would they have gone to the trouble of taping over his face? Normally, they would do that so that they don't make any sound, but then they would have to, like, periodically maybe open it up so that they could, like, say something. Like, it doesn't seem like they were trying to get Nagito to say anything, because otherwise they would have had to have removed that tape from his face, giving him the chance to yell and call for help. And since we didn't hear him yell and call for help, maybe because of the noise, but I doubt it. I doubt it was just because of something as convenient as because of the noise of the car. I don't think that would have been loud enough. So I feel like that tape never came off, and they were just torturing him to torture him, or he was torturing himself just to torture himself. Was it something that would have led to the traitor?
Even so.
Well, even if this was torture, there's no doubt that the killer must have held a deep grudge towards Nagito.
Damn it.
Refusing to let him die easily, I can totally understand a dark impulse like that. Why, you done this kind of thing before, Fuyiko? But even if they held a grudge against him, would they really have gone this far? Yeah, torture runes have been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Okay, I guess we'll take a look at the spear itself. What is the spear? A spear with a flashy ornament on it is impaled deeply into Nagito's stomach. Are we sure that's a spear and not like a, I don't know, a towel rack or or something like that, or a you know, one of those things to hold up curtains, like a curtain bar? Doesn't look very traditional. No way around it. That looks like the fatal wound. Maybe. Or maybe there was a, who knows?
This?
Oh my! What's this? Such a strange looking spear, isn't it? A cord extends from the tip of the handle, and there's an iron weight attached to it. A cord.
Phew.
I see. You use the cord as a whip to capture the enemy and deliver the final blow with the spear. That's a really weird weapon. I've never heard of a weapon like that before. Is this your first time looking at this too? Of course not. This is the Spear of Gungnir, right? Yeah, he used that in the previous game. Not really sure how to properly say that name, sorry. You definitely just came up with that now.
Hey!
By the way, I wanted to ask you, where did that spear come from? I feel like I saw it at Nezumi Castle. You did? What? Nezumi Castle?
What the hell?
I was designed to be afraid of mice, so I can't go in there. Damn you, mice! Damn you all to hell! Uh-huh. I see, even he doesn't know what's inside that castle. So does Monokuma not... It's hard to tell who's telling the truth or not, but if Monokuma really doesn't recognize this spear, and it came from Nezumi Castle, I guess we're gonna have to take a look over there and see who actually brought this here, and why. Well, more importantly, I need to focus on the investigation. The spear definitely catches my eye, but the weight on the end of the cord coming out of the handle looks like that part has blood on it too. But for some reason, this section of the cord doesn't have blood on it. Oh, because it was taped. Yes, because it was taped up somewhere. Wait, no, that doesn't make sense. It would have had to have been taped before getting blood on it. Which means that this thing was used to murder, and then it was taped up somewhere. For some reason. Like to fall down on him. Or it was taped up and then somebody put blood on it to make it look like it was the murder weapon when it isn't. For some reason. Hey, that's curious, but I'm assuming it's because it was taped up. About the size of a human fist. Strange that this section of the cord doesn't have blood on it. Yeah, but being the size of a human fist doesn't mean that it was a human fist that was holding on to it. I mean, it's possible, but I don't know. Also, Chiaki mentioned this earlier, but apparently that spear came from Nezumi Castle. It might be better if I confirm that later. Agreed. Spear of Gungnir has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook. Okay, I think we have two more things to look at. His face and his other hand. Let's look at his hand first. There's a cut on his upper left arm. His legs and right hand have stab wounds, but this wound looks like a slice. Oh, a slice. So not just a bunch of stabs, a slice. Also, why didn't we mention about how his right arm doesn't have any cuts? That seems like an important thing to note, but he didn't note it. That's probably the reason why the wound on his left arm doesn't look that deep compared to his other wounds. Well, regardless, it doesn't change the fact that it's a hideous wound, and there's blood everywhere. Can you reread that real quick? It's not that deep. Okay. Why is it not that deep? Is that the actual wound that killed? Like, did he slice his arm so that he would bleed out to death? Is that the actual thing that murdered him? And then he just waited for his death? And then somebody else tried to make it look like a murder afterwards? There's something strange. Strange? What?
See?
Look at the palm of his left hand. I think that blood is from when his left arm was sliced, but... The palm of his left hand. Doesn't the blood splatter look strange? It cuts off right in the middle of his palm. As if he was holding on to that spear thing. Huh. Or holding on to something at least. Yeah, it definitely cuts off. Maybe that's as far as the blood could reach when it splattered. Well, that would explain the blood on his palm, but... There's something else that's strange? When you flip it over and look at the back of his hand...
Well?
Here, there's also blood, but only above the middle joint of each finger. Huh. So his hand was tied to something? Or taped to something? You're right. Why is it only on this part? I mean, was he wearing gloves? I don't know.
See?
Fingerless gloves? See? It's just as I said, right? It's strange, right? I win. Yeah, sure, you win. So she's taking this as a game too. But it's definitely strange. What did the killer do to make the blood splatter like this? Huh. Blood on the left hand has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Finally, the face. He must have been in great pain. He clearly had this agonizing look on his face when he died. His mouth is covered with duct tape. Was this to keep Nagito from screaming for help? That's what I thought.
This is bad.
Jeez, what a horrible look on his face. The blood splattered all over. It doesn't help either. It's a good thing his mouth is covered with duct tape. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to look at him. Ah, got a minute? Sorry, excuse me. Jackie moved past Kazuichi and me and squatted down next to Nagito's face. A weird sound effect. And in one swift movement, she ripped the duct tape off his mouth. Hey, what are you doing?
It's gonna be fine.
Ah, it'll be fine. I'll put it back right away once I'm done investigating here. But that could have been evidence. What if we wanted to check whether or not it's ever been taken on or off again?
Hey, hey, hey.
Putting the tape back isn't the issue, you ungrateful swine. You're gonna get cursed. Cursed? Come on now. Ah, the blood on Nagito's face. It looks like it mostly came from the slice on his left arm. So most of the blood came from the slice on his left arm. That would imply that that was the wound that actually bled out and killed him. If that's the case...
Man.
It's no use, she's not listening.
Hey.
Hey, about the blood splattered on his face. There's no blood under the duct tape. So the blood was splattered after he was already duct taped. So he was tied up first and had the duct tape was put on him. And then the blood splatter happened.
Huh?
What's wrong with that?
Well?
This duct tape has crinkles like it was sticking towards the inside of his mouth, right? Nagito was probably desperately moving his mouth under the duct tape. Seriously, what's wrong with that? Yeah, get to the point. He means Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape before he got those wounds all over his body. Okay. Yeah, maybe, I mean, he could have also just put it over his own mouth to stop himself from making noise while he cut himself up. So he tried to shout, which caused the duct tape to get sucked into his mouth a bit. But what's wrong with that? Is that something we really need to worry about? I don't really get it, but just put the duct tape back on his mouth already.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. Anyway, this might be some kind of clue too. I should remember it. Duct tape has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. I guess I'm done with the area surrounding Nagito's body. Jeez, I can't believe I actually investigated such a grisly looking body. Even I'm surprised at myself. Does this mean I'm used to it? Yeah, this has been, we have done this to quite a few bodies at this point already. My classmate's dead body is right in front of me, and one of my peers is the killer responsible. So you say. We don't know that for sure yet. They have to investigate his death so I can find his killer. Am I used to something as abnormal as that? That would mean I'm becoming abnormal too. Huh. Okay, now we can back out and talk to everybody else. But before I talk to everybody else, I'm gonna save just in case the game crashes because it loves to crash while I leave it AFK. And then I'm gonna get something. I'm gonna finish cooking my steak and potatoes. So I'm gonna go enjoy a nice meal, and then I'll be right back. All right, I am back. So let's continue and talk to everybody here. I guess we'll just go from left to right, as usual. Mattered for Gundam's killing and for Mikon's. Looks like it's different this time. Doesn't matter this time. Wait, what's she talking about? It mattered? What mattered? What? What doesn't matter?
So,
The time. Looks like the time doesn't matter. What? What are you talking about? The time doesn't matter. It said that he's believed to have been killed at 12 noon. But that's just, it's still confusing. I don't know what you're talking about. Clearly written in the Monokuma file. Time of death was noon sharp. It was at noon. What were we doing at that time? What were we doing? Oh, right now it's
time.
It's 11:30 p.m. Okay. Right now. So it also has a clock function. Okay, so both of them, the toy also has the same clock function that Nekomaru had. And that means Nekomaru died 30 minutes ago. Huh? It happened that recently? Totally a fresh kill. Fresh. Seems like a bad way to describe it. It happened 30 minutes ago. Was it around the time we were struggling with the bombs? You're right, those fake bombs were originally supposed to explode at noon.
Alright!
But then the thingamabob stopped early, right? Wait. So that means that he wasn't dead until the fire? Wait. Let me take a look at the Monokuma file again. That would mean that I was assuming that he died a while ago, but is that really not the case? Let me take a look at this. Okay, so one thing that's interesting about this time of death, you'll notice that it just says that he died at noon sharp. It doesn't say what day he died on. Although, is it possible that did we see him yesterday? I don't remember. I don't remember if we saw him yesterday or not. No, we did. We did. We saw him yesterday because he was telling us about moving the bombs and whatnot, I think. But maybe that was before noon. That was at breakfast time, right? So after breakfast time, he could have maybe went here and then got himself killed at noon sharp that day. That's possible, right? Wait. She said something else that I didn't read. But this could be when Nekomaru died. The killer could have also used some kind of automatic setup. Yep, that's true. Yeah, something that made the spear fall down on him. Also, the crime looks very detailed, so they would have needed time to prepare.
Alright!
Then whoever doesn't have an alibi before we find the bombs is suspicious.
huh?
Wait, none of us have an alibi for that time. That's when we all split up to search for the bombs. Yeah, that's right. We were all split up. Who was the person who was supposed to be searching this particular area? I think it was Fuyuhiko? Yeah, that's the problem.
Like,
Not freaking out about it like Kazuichi, but definitely can't stop thinking about it. The Monokuma timer reaches 0 2 days from now. What's going to happen? Huh? What's going to happen?
that's obviously
That
wrong.
Ron school trip's gonna end, right? Or this Ron school trip's gonna end, right? We can finally go back home. Carefree till the end. that mean you don't think that'll happen?
Well, yeah.
Monokuma might be planning to make us do something after the countdown ends.
Hey, hey!
What do you mean, something? Huh, so he doesn't actually think it's a bomb?
Shut up! Shut up!
Making us kill each other, you know? What could be worse than that? Kill herself? I don't know.
Damn it!
I don't know. This is Monokuma we're talking about, you know? There's no way this will end smoothly with a countdown. True. Anyway, like you said before, if we screw up here, it's the end for us. For now, let's focus on the investigation. We'll think about the countdown after we live through the class trial. Yeah, I know. Don't bring up strange stuff like that. Okay, so he's worried about what the countdown means, is all I got from that. She looks like she's deep in thought while staring at the ceiling. Ah, the blood on the ceiling? What happened? Is there something strange about the ceiling?
Yep.
Yeah, about that sprinkler. That's one of the sprinkler heads that activated to put out the fire.
Well,
You can see a girder right next to it, right? There. Yep. Okay, so somebody did notice it. Can you see that red streak? Huh? Yeah, I noticed that immediately. You're right, I definitely see it. Looks like a small red line on the ceiling girder.
perhaps.
Is that blood? Blood? Color definitely looks like blood, but there's no way blood could get up there, right? Unless that's where the mechanism was of some sort. Plus, it's in a straight line. That's why I've been staring at it. I think it's strange. Definitely strange. Should remember this. Okay, so we got that as a truth bullet. Good. Now then, I guess it's enough investigating the area behind the curtain. The killer's goal wasn't just killing Nagito. There should have been another reason as well. You mean in terms of torturing him? But I also haven't talked to everybody in here yet. If not, they wouldn't have gone through to the trouble of tying him with a rope and covering his mouth with duct tape. I guess. Not just that, there's no reason to inflict any wounds other than a fatal one. So what was the reason? Well, they're saying that it was to get information out of it. I don't think that's true. Looks like I better investigate other areas to figure that out. Alright, I should try investigating the other areas inside this warehouse first. Okay, good, it didn't throw me out or anything. Let's talk to everybody here. One of us killed Nagito in such a cruel way? It's too bizarre. I can't do anything except laugh. Laugh? What?
So just as I thought.
If only everyone could go home. Nothing would make me happier. No, we should finish the class trial and then we can think about what will happen after. What will happen after? Why was that highlighted? Alright, fine. We'll leave here. What are we up to? Oh, that was just the back part of it. So now we have this whole part to look at. Alright, well, let's just talk to everybody first. Once again. Mattered for Gundam's killing and for Mikan's.
Hey!
Okay, she's just saying the same thing. They all just have the same voice lines? What about the people who I didn't have to talk to, like Sonia? Looks like Sonia's focused on investigating the warehouse. Which reminds me, there's something I need to ask her about. Now that we've pretty much finished investigating Nagito's body, I think it's time to talk to her. Hey Sonia, do you have a minute? Yes, what is it? I want to talk to you about when that fake bomb Nagito set in the warehouse exploded. Okay, the fireworks? Huh? Right before it exploded, you said something like this, right? It's alright, it is not a bomb. That's true, because she went to the military base and somehow figured something out. Why did you know the bombs were a fake? Well... That's not all either. When we were looking for the bombs, why were you at the military base? I thought you were supposed to be searching the Central Island. Plus, when I called for you, you didn't come to the factory right away. Where were you, and what were you doing during that time?
Oh my!
Oh my!
It cannot be!
Do you suspect me? That would be the normal thing. Yeah. It is a misunderstanding. I am not the killer. Jesus, shit! You son of a bitch! What? Why is she swearing at us all of a sudden? And we just want to understand what she was figuring out. Sonia?
I
I'm terribly sorry. I was panicking. What? I shall calm down and explain to you why I was at the military base. What a weird break of character. When I first explored the final island, I discovered a vast amount of bombs there. Huh?
Well,
At first, I was worried that someone might use them for nefarious reasons if I announced it to everyone. Okay, so she found actual bombs, like not firework bombs? Weird. So I kept silent the whole time. Does that mean when you heard Nagito planted bombs, you got suspicious and went to investigate them?
that is.
And as I suspected, the bombs had disappeared. I thoroughly searched for them inside the military base, but the bombs were nowhere to be found. And because you were searching for them, you were late when we all gathered?
Please listen.
And because of that, I've reached a conclusion. The bombs Nagito brought were from the military base, which means they were fake bombs. Oh, why, did you know that they were fake bombs already? How did you find out the bombs in the military base were fake? Because I attempted to use one of them. Maybe to escape the island or something? But I don't know how you'd use it for that.
I see. I see.
I thought one of the bombs would be strong enough to blast open the door to the ancient ruin. Ah, that makes perfect sense. At the time, I still believed the bombs were real. And I thought that I could use one of them to gain entrance to the ancient ruin. You probably should have asked somebody to help you out with that so you don't go blowing yourself up, but... Oh, I don't know. Maybe that would have increased her danger. Who knows?
However,
I guess she doesn't know if there's might be a spy. Oh yeah, she already said this line.
the bomb was not real. It was merely a fireworks display. God damn it, all to hell!
Seems to have an interesting way of swearing there.
So that's why you're the only one who knew the bombs at the military base were fake.
I did. As did Monami as well. She was also secretly peeking at the bomb.
Okay, so Monami also knew that the bombs were fake. Is that an important detail?
Which means...
If those bombs are the same ones that disappeared, it would mean Nagito took them. Okay. That is why I knew it was a fake. But did Nagito know it was a fake? Maybe he did, or maybe didn't. However, I didn't think it was strange when Nagito blew up the hotel lobby. Oh, right, because he's used one for that already. How? Was it a Monokuma that he used to blow up there? That bomb was real, and I could not stop thinking about it. But upon further reflection, that might have been Nagito's plan all along. He showed us a real bomb to make us believe that the bombs he set were real as well. Yeah. If so, then Nagito's actions were extremely calculated. The problem is, his reason for doing it. With this, I've explained everything.
Do you have a minute?
There should be no more reason for you to doubt me. You're right, I got it. Okay, so we got her testimony about the bombs being fake. Interesting that we're able to talk to the same people twice, but some of them have the same dialogue, but some of them have different dialogue. It's a bit confusing.
Jeez, you're pathetic.
Okay, so that's the same line. Well, even though I did say I was gonna freaking kill him,
Hey, hey, hey!
there's no way I would have actually done it. I was just upset, you know? Looks like this side is completely soaked because of the sprinkler. Okay, so only this side got wet. Even if there was an important clue here, we might not be able to notice it. But it's better than the warehouse burning to the ground. Good thing we were able to put out the fire. No, we were not able to put out the fire. The sprinkler system was. We did a really bad job of actually trying to put out the fire.
Hey, hey.
But there was a lot of smoke. It's a good thing we didn't go inside when we were throwing the grenades.
You are right.
I agree. If we did, we would have been caught by the sprinklers and become all wet and soggy. That's not the point. Sonia's all wet. She's all drenched and soggy. Yes, very funny, Monokuma. Very original joke that no one could have possibly seen coming.
Hey, hey!
You were thinking that, huh?
Of course not!
I wasn't thinking that at all.
Say what?
Why, you responded, Kazuichi? I was asking Hajime.
Whoa!
You're screwing with me.
This.
Oh my, screwing? How lewd. No one has anything to say to that. Don't look at me with such fearful eyes. I only imagined it for a second. Kazuichi, you probably should just keep your mouth shut already. Yes, you should. Okay. Well, that wasn't too productive, except now we learned that this is the only area that got wet. Is that important for some reason? I also noticed that only these Monokuma panels are burnt. The rest of these are not. So the fire only appeared over here. Okay. And then this side all got burnt. So it was just like this particular area that got burnt for some reason. Alright. Let's go look at everything else. I guess boxes first? The books? There are a bunch of books stacked on top of each other. Apparently it came Monokuma's poetry. The sprinklers completely soaked them. I can't even turn the pages anymore. Well, it's not like I'm missing much. Hey, you never know. Maybe Monokuma's a good writer. There are a lot of tipped over Monokuma panels. The panel near the curtain in the back is tipped over and burned. Did the fire do that? The panel near the curtain in the back is tipped over and burned. Yeah, it must have. But why are they scattered like this? The last time I came here, I seem to recall... Yeah, where were they? They're all neatly put away. Like that, okay. Let me get a good look at this scene because we actually, it's been a while since we've gotten this scene of what it actually used to look like. I don't notice anything in particular that's different, as far as I can tell, other than the dollies moved. Maybe we're the ones who made this mess? Huh?
See?
Look, the tipped over panel by the entrance is really close to the door, right? So maybe the reason these panels are tipped over is... What, when you came in? It's fine, I'll open it slowly. No, that's not the problem. Seriously, it'll be fine! Those words, Akane brushed off everyone's warnings to slowly open the door. Yeah. And it's not opening. And then they just use more force and kick it. I guess that's possible that they could have blown them all over. Could it be, was that it? Or could it be, was that it?
Well?
And there's something else I've been wondering.
Hey,
Oh?
hey.
These Monokuma panels are tipped over, starting from the entrance to the back of the warehouse, right? True, they're all tipped over in that direction. They seem to be laying on top of each other in a straight line. Huh. Yeah, compared to the other tipped over panels, that is the only one that's neat and orderly. What are you talking about? Which one is neat and orderly? None of them look neat and orderly. They're tipped over, starting from the entrance to the back of the warehouse. They seem to be lying on top of each other in a straight line. So this is actually interesting. That's an interesting point to bring up. So if you stack a bunch of things on top of each other like that, and the stack falls over, it would, this seems to imply that the stack was actually further back in the room. And then all of them fell over towards the doorway. Or slid over towards the doorway. Because of the way that they're stacked on top of each other. Otherwise, this doesn't actually make that much sense the way that they're arranged.
So...
Isn't this clearly strange? Strange? That means... Or were they all standing up before? I thought they were, so they were on their, were they on their front or were they standing up? Strange. That means we can speculate this was done intentionally. Wait, how can we speculate that? I didn't fully understand. I didn't fully understand what they meant by that. Okay, the ones on the left are all standing up. So I think they were all standing. So maybe this does make sense the way they're arranged. But yeah, the fact that they're stacked on top of each other like that is going to be important, I guess. But then some of them are amiss. Weird. I don't know what that means. I don't have any idea right now. Okay. Okay, that's a detail for sure, but I don't know anything about what that means. Look at the CDs first. All these CDs are all copies of Monokuma's music. These should have been burned too. But no, I don't want to talk to you. I wanted this. This is an MP3 player. There's even a speaker plugged into it. But why is this here? I mean, we heard this as we approached, right?
Maybe.
Like that weird music was playing from there. You know, that music that was blaring when the fire started. Yeah, you're right. Looks like that. It looked like it's busted from getting drenched by the sprinklers. There's no mistaking it. That music was playing. There's no mistaking it. That music was playing from the MP3 player. I don't disagree with that, but why was the killer playing music from this to draw us over at the correct time, or to drown out the sounds of the murder? An MP3 player has been added to the Truth Blood section of your handbook. Alright, I pretty much finished looking for clues inside the warehouse. I was able to find some clues, but there are still so many things I don't understand yet. Yeah, I don't really understand it. I don't feel like I understand anything yet, honestly. You look worried. Yeah, I am.
Well,
At a time like this, it might be good if you broaden your investigation range. You mean it's good to investigate other places as well? You might be right. There are several things I've been wondering about besides the crime scene. For one, the castle area, where the stabbing weapon apparently came from. The military base that Sonia mentioned, the plushie factory next door. Nezumi Castle, where the spear originally came from. And Nagito's room, too. Alright, that'll be interesting. If I'm going to understand the reason for his actions, I need to know more about him. I'm pretty sure the others have already finished investigating.
can you hear me?
Hey, you guys, isn't it about time we leave this place and try exploring other areas too? In response to Chiaki, the others gathered around her.
I see.
I agree. I was just thinking about proceeding to another area. It seems we have the same idea.
Huh?
But is it safe? There won't be anyone to guard the crime scene.
Yep.
We don't have a choice. There just aren't enough of us. Besides, we investigated all we can here. You sure about that? Guess you're right.
See?
Also, it looks like the clues we found aren't enough to piece this incident together. So we need to search for them in other areas, probably. Well, alternatively, if there aren't any clues in other areas either, we'd have to give up completely. Give up completely? That's not our plan. Also, what if the body just suddenly disappears? I feel like that might happen. You don't really need to say that.
Hey!
It's okay with we leave this place. It's okay. I guess we're leaving this place. That's definitely gonna backfire on us somehow. There's no time for us to stand around. In order to survive, there's no other way except to do it. In order to survive, we need to find Nagito's killer. If we don't sacrifice that person, nobody can survive. That's our reality. That's why there's no time for us to stand around. Alright, I guess we're starting with the plushie factory since it's right here. So let me save and then we'll do that. Alright, let's head into the factory. Let's take another look at that side room, especially where we got the firefighting supplies from and all that. What do you have to say?
My!
I have never seen so many Monokumas in my life. Oh, Monokuma isn't exactly someone you would normally run into. However, when I was staring at all these Monokumas, a thought occurred to me.
Well?
The bomb that went off at the lobby might have been set up here. What do you mean by that? Huh?
Do you have a minute?
If you hide the bomb inside a Monokuma plushie, it would make a frightening weapon. Yeah? Do you not think the group that is forcing us to kill each other would devise something like that? I mean, if you're talking about Monokuma, he already has explosives in him, so I don't know Is she supposed to know that? What is she trying to, what is she getting at here? Does she know more than she's letting on?
Amazing!
A plushie bomb is an act of terrorism.
All right.
Let us rip these apart right away so we can confirm it. Hold on. There was a bomb inside these. Wouldn't it explode if we carelessly messed with it?
Easy as pie.
Either way, it is all gravy. All gravy? What the hell does that mean?
Enough already.
Stop! There is no bomb.
Hey,
You'll know if you just pick me up, see? All you'll feel is the soft weight of cotton.
I see. I see.
You're right.
However,
Then where did Nagito obtain the bomb he used? Good point.
who knows?
I wonder. If I'm gonna give you guys a hint, then you should know it wasn't from the military base.
What?
To tell you the truth, the bombs there are all fake.
please wait.
I know that already. You should have said so earlier.
No.
Well, I thought if I kept quiet, it would foreshadow that a killing was gonna happen. That's why. I'm just now telling you for the first time. Phew! I feel relieved. But if the bomb wasn't from the military base or this factory, then he brought it from the Octagon?
Well,
I must say, you have a good eye there, Sonia. Putting a bomb inside one of my plushies seems like a splendid idea. Let's try it.
That is.
Did I say something I should not have said? Now he's gonna use that idea, even though he's already used that idea. It's not your fault, don't worry about it. Okay, Monokuma's account has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook. Well, I don't know what that's trying to imply. Is that trying to say that maybe the plushie with a hole in it was not used as maybe a bomb, but used as a weapon in some other way? I don't know. Well, whatever. You don't have all the pieces to put together yet.
That is.
Okay, yeah, she just has the same thing to say. I thought I clicked on, did I click on these or? Life-size Monokuma plushies are crammed inside an enormous basket. But it looks like there aren't any clues here. Okay, fine. There's the laptop. There's that doorway. I guess we'll just go from right to left still. That reminds me, when we saw Nagito's video message on this laptop. Is he still watching us from somewhere? If he's not, then how did he time his messages so perfectly? No, it looks like the video was set to play after the explosion by our wireless signal from the detonator. But why do you have to use a video message? That's the one thing I don't get. At the time, Nagito should have already been killed, which means that this video was recorded in advance. No. He shouldn't have already been killed because they said he got killed at noon, and the bombs were supposed to go off at noon. And we were there before that. Hold on a second. Let me look at this once again. I keep going back to this, but the Monokuma file. Noon sharp. So when we headed over there, it shouldn't have been noon yet. Because the car ran out of gas early, right? At least that's what we said at the time. That the car ran out of gas early, and then it was fireworks instead. So Nagito wouldn't have been dead until after we already saw that everything blow up, or saw the fireworks go off, then went outside to go check on Nagito? Unless my theory about it being the previous day was correct or something. I don't know. That's right, besides that video, there might be data on this laptop that could be used as a clue. With that thought in mind, I tried messing around with the laptop, but it's no use, it's locked. There's no way I can examine this. But if it's locked, then maybe there really is something inside. Maybe I'm overthinking this. Okay, so the laptop is locked. And there may be a clue in it, but that's obviously not going to help us if it's locked. Oh, I didn't want to click on that, but that works too. Apparently the bombs that were stuffed into this on this truck were actually fireworks. Which reminds me, this truck looks like it came from the military base. Nagito must have brought it from there. Other than that, there's nothing in particular that catches my eye. That's an enormous machine, but it's stopped for now. Looks like there's nothing related to the incident here. Okay, fine. I guess we'll go into this side room again. The break room is on the other side of this door. This is where we obtained the fire grenades. Anything inside? Nothing on the floor that looks like a clue. Not even trash. What? That's all we're getting? We don't even get to see another look into that room? Why? Why, game? Why don't we get to look in there again? That's really weird. So we're just gonna say that there's no clues, even though there might actually be clues, and just assume that we're correct. All right, whatever. Let's see. Outside. Now, where is it I needed to go? There were multiple places, right? Right, plushie factory we've already looked at, warehouse we've looked at, military base. Okay, let's go there, since that's nearby. The one I'm most curious about, though, is the place where the spear came from. Oh, right, I forgot I could do that, like, fast walk thing. I've got to remember that. Okay. Let's just talk to Kazuichi. Oh, hello. Let me grab you real quick.
I knew you could do it.
Oh, we got mana coins. Well, that'll sure be useful. Probably not. Damn it. This dangerous place is the reason all this messed up stuff is happening.
Hey,
Leaving guns out in the open is totally dangerous. Seriously, they gotta take better care of these. Easy to say that, but there's no one on this island who can do that. Okay, maybe I should take a look at these weapons then. A huge supply of guns and other firearms are stuffed into the truck bed.
whoa!
Ah, found it! What did you find? Well, that truck bed over there has guns in it, but I also found stuff like a survival knife. Wait, that's, yeah, the same one. Same one stabbed into his hand. Isn't that the same type of knife that was stabbed through Nagito's right hand?
Maybe.
Which means the killer obtained that knife here.
All right.
So the killer is someone who visited the military base at least once. Unless Nagito was the one that brought that knife. That's everyone, though. No, not me. This is the first time I've been here. That sounds fishy. Yeah, we can't just believe that wording. But so I guess you can not believe, you can trust yourself. Congratulations. Anything going on with the tank? That's the most conspicuous thing. If the bombs are fake, then this might be fake too. But I'm not brave enough to check for myself. Okay, fine. Helicopter? That dreadful helicopter, the one that executed Teruteru. Doesn't have anything to do with the incident. Okay, fine. I guess there's nothing else to oh, no, there is? When I tried looking through the truck bed, it's empty. Nothing's here. When I first came here, there was something on the truck bed, which means Sonia was telling the truth. There was something on the truck bed last time? I don't remember that. Also, I keep forgetting to do this when switching between various games, but need to move myself every single time. Sorry, I keep forgetting that.
However,
And as I suspected, the bombs had disappeared. I thoroughly searched for them inside the military base, but the bombs were nowhere to be found. What, were they on this truck initially? But did Nagito know the bombs weren't real? It's possible that he thought they were the real thing, yeah. No, never mind. He said as much in his video message. Oh, okay. That's true. Also, he did use an explosive for, like, the first explosion that he did. So, we obviously knew what he was doing. So, were you surprised? Seriously, think about it. Do you really think there are enough bombs to blow up an entire island? Okay, yeah. Even if there were, a guy like me would never be able to use them. He knew the bombs were fake. He only did what he did to weed out the traitor. No, is that really it? Did Nagito only do that to expose the traitor? Maybe there was a different motive behind his actions. Maybe he was trying to draw out Monokuma to kill him and stop him from blowing up the island? Because Monokuma didn't want the game to end or something? But no, Monokuma already knew, like, whether or not they were explosives or fake or not. That doesn't make sense. Alright, where to now? The only place I can think of is... Oh! Why is Chiaki at the hotel? Okay, so this is Nagito's cottage. Let me go over here. Oh, wait, no, she's probably not at the hotel. She's just probably around, out and about, right? Am I right? Wrong buttons. Yeah, she's just in the area. So she's probably in front of Nagito's place. Right? Yeah, she is. Okay. That makes more sense. I'm annoyed. What happened? I'm annoyed. What are you annoyed about? I want to investigate Nagito's cottage, but I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed. What, is it not? Are we not able to go in there? Is that not unlocked? I don't really understand, but you can't investigate Nagito's cottage? Maybe I should try investigating Nagito's cottage. Okay, is it just gonna be locked? Is that it? Yep. Huh? It's locked. Apparently. We can't go inside thanks to that. I'm annoyed. There's nothing I can do. I'm gonna go investigate another area. What are you going to do? I'll go look for Monokuma. He might open it for us. Then let me know when we can go inside.
Yep.
Yeah, got it. Okay, so we're taking a look at that last, I guess. Were we ever able to go into one of these rooms for an investigation? I feel like we were, right? Does this imply that because he's not dead yet, we can't go into his room? Maybe he's not actually dead? I don't know. You never know. You never know. You can't throw out any theories. They could all be right. Okay, so now I think we only have one more place to check then. And that would be, where is it? Here we go, Nezumi Castle. I still want to check more in there, but all right, Nezumi Castle. And straight through. Ah, there it is. So it was up there. Weird. So I didn't get a chance to actually take a look at that last time. Let me just take another look at this. The 11037. It's a password to enter the ancient ruin, but the most important part is erased. Nagito was the only one who found out the password written here, and he apparently went inside, but now that he's dead, are we unable to get the password? No. We should deal with that later. Right now, investigating the case comes first. Okay, fine. Let's take a look at the spear thing. A spear with a flashy ornament on it is hanging from the wall. This spear, it's definitely it, right?
I see.
This is what I thought. Looks exactly like the spear that killed Nagito. Same whip-like cord is attached to the handle. There's a weight attached to there's a weight at the end of it. Yep.
Also,
Plus, looks like one of the spears on the wall is missing. No mistaking it. Killer took one of the spears and used it as a weapon. Spear Gungnir, huh? Monokuma would totally come up with a lame name like that. But why did the killer use a spear and a knife?
well, yeah.
Yeah, could have just killed him with a knife and it would have been easier too. No way a spear like this with this unnecessary cord thing would be easy to use. Yeah, the only reason I could think of for the cord is that it could be hung up somewhere and like could fall down or something, right? They use as a trap somehow. Yeah, it definitely looks hard to wield. But still, he chose the spear for a reason. What could that reason be? feel a little tired. No matter how much I investigate, I don't feel any closer to the truth. Probably why I feel this way. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Hajime. I also, like, no matter how much we're investigating here, I don't feel any closer to the truth either. Honestly, I'm totally lost with this one. Totally lost. Feeling this strange feeling that I've never felt before. As if Nagito is trying to make us suffer, even after he's died. Well, now's not the time to think about stupid things like that. I haven't even investigated his cottage yet. It's too early to start complaining. If we investigate that place, we might be able to find some kind of clue. Alright, let's go. Okay, so we're headed back to the cottage. Anything else to say, though?
I get it.
Killer must have taken a spear from here. A spear like that isn't convenient at all. Pain to carry around, so why do they bother using it? Maybe the spear was actually used for torture, too. Torture, huh? Used for torture? I don't know about that. I feel like it's more suited to just be set up as a trap or something. Maybe. I don't know. No idea. No idea. Okay, so I guess we're just heading back to the cottage, right? I'm assuming that's our deal. And that would be... Where's it at? Wait. Nobody at the hotel site? I don't get it. How come there's only exclamation marks here? I would think... Am I confused? Oh no, here we go.